can I admit something? There are days when I look at what I'm building over 50 and I feel like I'm falling behind. I still believe deeply in what I'm building. I believe that God is using it to call me into my purpose. I believe that He pulled me out of a 25 plus year career for such a time as this, for this season. And I know that He would never leave me or forsake me. But sometimes I feel like the progress is slow. I have to fight the comparison bug. Sometimes I look at other channels or someone with a similar niche or niche as mine, whichever you prefer, and it seems like they're moving twice as fast. And it makes me question my own progress. But I have to remind myself that their journey is not my assignment. Everyone has their own journey, everyone has their own assignment. I can't live your life and you can't live mine. We have to walk our own path. And I'm also realizing that maybe I'm not behind. Maybe I'm being built at the same time as the thing that I'm building. Slow doesn't mean unsuccessful. What I'm building is bigger than numbers. I'm building skill, quality, consistency, purpose, and something that I am genuinely hoping that will help other people. After 50, I don't want fast at the expense of substance. I want what I'm building to have foundation. Quality takes time, trust takes time, purpose takes time, and building something that's meant to last is not necessarily done overnight. Now, I know I talk a lot about faith, and I have faith. I've worked hard to build my faith, and I'm continuing to do so. But faith doesn't mean I don't get discouraged. Faith doesn't erase human emotions. Faith doesn't get rid of human moments. I can still believe and know God is faithful, and I still may have a day that I look at my progress and want it to move faster or wonder why it's not moving faster. What's important is what I return to. What's my center? And my center is I know that God is faithful. I know He hasn't forgotten about me. And I know that I can keep moving even if I don't see the fruit yet. Instead of asking, why isn't it happening faster? I'm starting to ask myself, was I faithful with what God placed in my hands today? And that question gives me like a different type of peace because it reminds me and it brings me back to what I can control today. And that's how I show up. That's what I have control over, is how I show up, and that I show up consistently. Now, I'm not saying all of this to say that I won't look at nobody else page or something similar and wish that my progress was as fast as theirs or something like that, because I know me. But I don't have to stay there. I can recognize it, then bring myself back to what God has placed in my hands and keep building. Because I still believe there is purpose in what I'm doing. I still believe that God is faithful, but I would rather build something meaningful and lasting than something simply because it's fast. So if you're over 50 and you find yourself on this same journey of reinvention, journey of starting over, not from zero, but starting from a major life shift, a life change, or just a realization that you are not walking in your purpose and you're ready to do so, subscribe and join me here, because these conversations is going to continue. This growth is going to continue. The things we talk about is going to move us into what God has already called us to do. We are going to walk into the season that God called us to at this time in our life. He said in His word that He wants us to have life and have it more abundantly. So let's continue to grow our faith. Let's continue to put one foot in front of the other and walk in that path of abundance that He's taken us to. And like I always say, I love you with the love of God.
Someone back in yesterday took a
Peace.
turn and changed my view. Found the roads to follow through. Every season helped me grow. Every step taught me to know.